Hey everybody, it's Lori with the Catch a Pocket Podcast, and today I'm going to bring you episode 55. Doug Wilson, he's a music promoter. He does a lot in Wichita. If you're at a show, he's probably there with you. And he's a joy to interview. I really appreciate him coming to the podcast headquarters and saying hello and introducing himself to you guys out there. Anybody listening should go look him up, Daze Production. And if you're in a band, you know him already. So, with that all aside, here's my friend and yours, Doug Wilson. Enjoy it. I'm here with Doug Wilson of the Doug Days of Summer and Doug Daze Productions. Doug, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. First big interview of this kind, this length, so I'm a little nervous actually, but
don't be.
But I'm happy to
Please
be here.
be.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have you, and I'm really pleased that you came. So, with the Catch a Pocket Podcast, I always ask people, when did you start thinking about art? What?
Ooh, wow. Probably in high school, I would say.
Okay.
Had a cool art teacher, and did art class, and got into a little bit.
A little art?
Yeah, like
Okay.
visual art.
Visual. Yeah. And so, were you born here in Wichita?
Yes.
And did you go to school as a wee lad? Did you go to school where?
Catholic grade school and high school.
Which Catholic grade school did you go to?
All Saints.
All Saints.
Yep.
Okay, so that's on Harry Street?
Yep.
Okay. And then, so all through school, Catholic school?
Yes. Capeman for high school, and I did some college. I kind of dabbled in college after high school, and those were just public schools. But
Okay.
yeah.
So, like WSU?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of the several colleges I
So
went
did you
to,
get
yeah.
your degree then?
I never did. I, dabbled. There were things I was interested in, but I just couldn't follow through. Everything I was interested in, I was like, I just can't see doing this for a career for the rest of my life,
Right.
and I never finished.
That makes sense. That's okay. That's part of learning who you are, knowing that you don't want something.
Yeah.
So you All Saints and all these Catholics. So you're a very religious family?
They were and are practicing Catholics. I don't know. They're active in their church.
Okay.
But they're just normal people, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't think of them as overly religious.
Right. They're not like evangelical,
No.
like that kind of
Yeah.
way. You were allowed to dance and
Yep.
drink wine
Yeah, absolutely.
and sin and then go confess.
Uh-huh. And
I
the
was
Catholics,
raised Catholic.
Okay, so you know.
I know how it is. Yeah.
You know
definitely.
they definitely drink the wine too.
Yeah. The wine even during church.
Absolutely.
And usually sometimes before church and sometimes after church.
Yes.
I love that about it. But okay, so you said you kind of got into art a little bit while you were in high school.
Yeah.
So what about music?
I think about this quite a bit because for the way I see myself compared to other promoters and people involved with music, I feel like I had a pretty mainstream start, and so in high school it was like hair bands and metal, and then shortly after I was into like alternative rock,
Like what?
like The Cure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
Did you like the Cult?
yes,
I love the Cult.
Absolutely, I loved all that stuff, and I ended up in Oregon which we can get to later. It's a fun story. But
Okay.
out there, I was just surrounded by like folk and like Grateful Dead and some bluegrass, and so I really found myself going that direction as far as what I like to listen and go see.
And how old were you at that time?
I arrived in Oregon when I was 23.
Okay. So that's after you dabbled in colleges?
Yes.
And then you decided to hit the road?
Pretty much. I actually did a solo bicycle tour.
What?
I flew to...
Tell me about that.
Yeah,
Let's
a fun
start.
one. It's a
Let's
fun
just
one.
start with that.
So I flew to the Arctic coast of Alaska, the northernmost part of the state, and solo bicycle toured for like all summer. This was 1993. It was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw...
What kind of bike did you ride?
I rode just a mountain bike that really wasn't built for touring, but I wanted it to be like super rugged. So it was essentially more of like a single track bike that I just put racks on.
Okay.
You know, like just...
And did you tent camp while you were biking?
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
I stayed
interesting.
in like some youth hostels and some hotels, and I had like a dozen different people, just strangers, offer me a place to stay for the night. And that was super cool too.
That is cool.
I mean, I could go on and on. We could spend 2 hours talking about the Alaska trip, but it was, I mean, I like to summarize by saying whales, bears, glaciers. You know what I mean? Like, I saw it all.
Polar bears?
I didn't, okay. I got to see grizzlies and black bears, but several different sightings on that trip.
Oh, wow.
It was
Grizzlies,
cool.
wow.
Yeah. Now,
Did you carry bear spray?
I did. That's all I had. And just one funny story about that. When I was putting my bike together, you know, because when you put it on the plane, it's broken down quite a bit. I was in the airport in Dead Horse, Alaska, which is way up there by Prudhoe Bay. And all these oil workers are watching me put my bike together and talking to me. And they're like, so what are you packing? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they said like 45 or 357. I'm like, I got pepper spray. And they're like, you're going to die. you're going to get eaten out there. And then just briefly, they said, well, let me see your goggles. And I'm like, goggles? They're like, this is a gravel road for 500 miles and the trucks do like 70 miles an hour. You're going to get sprayed with gravel. And I was, because this is pre-internet. I didn't know. I mean, I knew the road condition basically, but next thing I knew, like I had a half a dozen free pairs of like safety glasses that they all gave me, which of course I didn't. Out of those 500 miles, I had one truck that didn't slow down.
Really?
So they were all.
And you didn't get sprayed with gravel?
I didn't get sprayed with gravel. Although I could tell he wasn't coming, or I'm sorry, he wasn't slowing down because I could hear him coming forever. This is on the north slope of Alaska. There's no trees. It's all tundra. And I could just tell he was. So I actually stopped and kind of huddled up a little bit, you know.
Oh, so you kind of turned
just
away.
in case. But I was fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you had 12 pairs of goggles and no spray. No, you got rid of most of those.
I kept the spray. I didn't need. I did have one encounter where I had a bear in camp, but camp was at that particular event or night was a youth hostel, and there was like 10 or 12 other tents around me. And I heard this dog barking real early in the morning. I was trying to ignore it until this woman goes, "Get out of here, you dumb bear." Anyway.
So get out of here bear works for grizzlies as well.
Apparently. It was just like the neighborhood nuisance.
Right.
But it was like a 400-pound black bear.
Oh, okay. Black bears. Yes. They do respond to go away bear for some reason, even though they're huge.
Maybe if they're constantly like in town and
I guess
had some run-ins with people. I don't know. So
yeah,
but that's how I ended up in Oregon. I
pedaled.
rode all.
You pedaled all the way.
Yeah,
and
I didn't actually pedal all the way. That's another story. But I pedaled about 3,300 miles.
And then what
of
happened?
that route? Well, I stopped in Hood River, Oregon. I had a friend there, actually from here, that I had worked at a ski area with. Like
Can you drop names?
Year before that. Yeah, his name's Ted Zeitler.
Okay.
He's one of my best buds still. I just saw Billy Strings with him for his first time.
Whoa.
In December down in Austin. We met down there.
It's South by Southwest or something.
No,
just Austin.
Austin, Texas. So I did a little bit of the run. I saw in Oklahoma City with Monica, my girlfriend.
Sure.
And then she didn't make the rest of the trip, but I went. I saw Magoo in Oklahoma City, and then Billy in Fort Worth, and then Billy again in Austin in like 3 days.
Oh wow!
And Ted had he went through this period when he didn't like bluegrass for like 20 years.
Okay.
And then finally gave in and listened to some Billy Strings, and he was like, "Oh my God, I have to see it."
Well, he made a good choice. Yeah.
So Ted was there in Hood River, and I basically blew through my whole budget for the bike ride. I was down to like $300.
Where was it supposed to end?
I was kind of hoping to make it all the way to San Diego.
Okay.
But it was like September, and I was already,
out of money.
I was calling it good. And also, Oregon is just gorgeous.
And how long did that take you?
101 days.
101. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's before you could have had a YouTube and you could have had people give you money.
Right. Yeah.
Because I see things like, this.
Fundraisers, GoFundMe. Yeah. No, I worked a couple different jobs before I left, and I was living at home and, with my parents, and saved up a few thousand.
And that was your budget. And then you got to Bend?
Hood River.
And then you were out of dough and you crashed on your friend's
pretty much
Ted's couch.
Yeah, the funny it's even more funny than that. He was living in a house with like 7 dudes.
Oh wow.
In like a 2-bedroom house or something, right? Maybe 3. And they're like, honestly, there's no room, but you can put your tent in the yard and you can use the shower and the kitchen and hang out with us,
Right.
And I was like, that's cool. Well, I did that for like another month. So sometime in October, then I ran into one of their neighbors that I then rented a room from him.
Okay.
And I was in Hood River about a year. Then I went to Eugene.
Okay.
For like 6-7 years.
Oh, you lived in Eugene?
Yeah.
And what did you do while you were there?
Oh my gosh.
So many things.
I mean, I really call Oregon like the time of my life. It was so fun.
Yeah, and this is your 24?
Yeah, so my 20s.
And you lived there till all of your 20s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, like I said, literally like the year before Oregon or 2 years before Oregon, I lived in Salt Lake briefly just to get a ski job. Okay. So my whole 20s was like ski jobs and just having a ton of fun.
Wow,
like
that sounds
jumping
awesome.
off cliffs and the rivers and stuff out there in Eugene.
Living.
Yeah.
Living it.
Yeah. And I would say that I probably got a little bit of the bug for shows, because it went from like to me, live music before I left was, I had gone to Kirby's a little bit, and I'd seen a bunch of shows at the Coliseum.
Okay.
And maybe...
So you're talking about like White Snake and Def Leppard and stuff like that, because that's Kansas, Kansas was there probably, Ozzy and stuff.
But, I had got some inklings of some more eclectic stuff, a little more stylized, more local stuff before I left. Because remember I went to that blues place on North Broadway? Do you remember?
Was that the Night Owl?
Oh, man. The Roadhouse, maybe? Or
okay.
It's all stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Roadhouse. What was it called before that?
Anyway, somebody out there will correct us.
Yes. I'll add it here. The Coyote Club. And that was your favorite?
Just unforgettable.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if I want to call it my favorite, but it was certainly one of the most memorable
Something you would never take back.
Like I had not seen that, the whole culture yet, really.
Yeah, I mean, just looking around is like something all to itself.
Yeah. Well, so another one that comes to mind, I mean, there's I should tell you about 2 more that were just super memorable.
Yeah.
High Times Hemp Festival. So High Times, the magazine.
Yeah.
They called it a hemp festival, and there was a big sign out front that's like, absolutely no drugs allowed. And you walk in, it's like, whatever. It's crazy. Yeah. And they just had great bands. And
Cheech and Chong opened it up.
Oh, man. I know it was like Fishbone and like...
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was a variety.
Yeah.
And I remember I met a young woman. Well, she was like my age.
Yeah.
And she talked to me all night and sang Joni Mitchell to me a cappella, just like hanging out.
Wow.
Like whole entire songs. And so that was pretty enjoyable,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was
Joni Mitchell. Wow. That's kind of very specific. Like, no one sounds like Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
This girl did, huh?
Oh, she had a great style. Like, she sang Joni Mitchell songs, but her voice was different. But, yeah.
Okay.
Then there was another one I touched briefly on, like the Merry Pranksters and Ken Kesey. They had one called the Dexter Lake Shake and Bake.
Really?
And it's not as if I got to see Ken Kesey all the time. Actually, I only saw him the one time. But he came out and spoke at some point, and I remember just being in awe that it was him, but then also not really being able to understand everything he said because it sounded like he was a super burnout, actually. Like he had a lot of,
like too much.
Uh-huh. But it was still pretty interesting, and everybody there was very interesting.
All right. So those were your three favorite of the West Coast, of all the ones that you went to, the most memorable.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so what got you moving away from the West Coast?
I did one more. So I did one more year in California.
What part of California?
L.A.
Okay.
Sort of. I spent about a month in the Santa Cruz Mountains area, living and working with a friend. And I was essentially waiting to hear back from several different boats that I had applied to.
Oh, okay.
So I had heard some guys in Oregon talking about working on like private yachts and how much fun and adventures and stuff they had. And they made good money.
Right.
So I went looking for that, but essentially I couldn't get quite as lucky as them. Like I did get a job on a boat, but it was completely different from what they did. I ended up on a privateer, a Revolutionary War replica privateer schooner.
Okay.
So a big 118-foot long sailboat.
Wow.
Built from plans that they got from the Smithsonian Museum.
Whoa. From scratch.
Yes. So this
you didn't
guy
help build it, but it was already built when you worked on it.
Yes. The guy that built it, though, took 13 years because he used all traditional hand tools.
Holy shit.
He didn't even use electricity. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that boat, man, it was really, really cool.
So what did you do? What was your job? A lot of different jobs?
So coming on with no experience, I they readily took me because it was kind of a commitment. I had to live on the boat. And
for how long?
Well, it was essentially just a week at a time.
And then you would land, and then you would be on shore?
Yes, in Long Beach.
And would you come back to Long Beach every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would either take, like during the part of the year when kids were in school, we would take like tourists out on like cannon battles and short trips and stuff. But then as soon as school let out, we took
cannon battles. Hold on, let's stop.
Yeah.
So you would shoot the cannons on the boat?
At other tall ships, they are called. Yes.
Pretend?
Yes. So
did you ever shoot a real ball?
So they shot blanks essentially, but it was real black powder.
Okay.
And so they just pack. It was roughly the size of, like, if you can picture, like, maybe like a soup can.
Okay.
That much black powder. It was a pretty big explosion. Yeah. And usually it was blanks, but every once in a while they did something where they would trail, like, a charge behind the boat and in, like, a waterproof thing. I guess maybe like a milk. I don't even remember how they did it. But they could make it go off after one of the other boats fired, and it looked like a cannonball hit behind the boat.
So it was really like movie magic.
Yeah, it was a little theatrical.
Yeah.
They had us wearing period clothing. It wasn't going to win an Oscar, but they had some pillowy, billowy shirts. Yeah. Then when the kids got out of school, we took them to Catalina Island for lots of snorkeling, and then we taught them like
one day things.
Actually, they would go for a week.
To Catalina Island?
And I might have misspoken. When we took like tourists out for cannon battles and stuff or whale watching, those were day trips.
Okay.
But in the summer, we would take them for a week over to Catalina Island or 5 days or something.
Like drop them off and they would go do their snorkeling schools, or would you
they
be there too?
They stayed on the boat for 5 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there are all these bunks underneath. We'd take like 30 kids and there'd be like 10 adults.
Whoa.
And yeah, between the snorkeling and marine biology and a little bit of maritime history and just sailing, it was really, really fun.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I have tons of stories just from that too. But
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I can't only imagine.
Whales, you know.
Yeah, you're seeing whales and yeah.
Yeah, like super pods of dolphins. Have you ever heard of a super pod?
No.
Like dolphins as far as the eye can see. Wow. It was crazy.
So, okay, you were there in Long Beach working on the Revolutionary War sailboat.
Yeah.
Was it a what is it, Caravelle? Three big sails?
Schooner. So two masted.
Okay.
Two big masts. 95 foot high was the main mast. This thing weighed like 100 tons. And
yeah.
It was a kind of a big boat.
And you said for how long you did that? 6 months?
I did that like about 6 months. And when that was over, I got a job on a scuba diving boat for just a few months, like 2-3 months.
In California as well?
Yeah. And cool. Not long after that, like in the winter, I did some part-time truck driving stuff. And that's about when I decided to come home. At that time, no. Of course, that's what I do now. But
you drive a big rig now?
I do.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know what you did.
At that time, yeah, we can get to that. Okay. At that time, it was just like what I could get through temp services and stuff. And that's not long after that, I decided to come back home again and kind of regroup. I was hoping, like, I couldn't make very much money in L.A.
Right. Because it costs so much to do everything. It cost
a lot, and there was a lot of people in my position that needed, no college degree that needed jobs too. You know what I mean? So there was a lot.
So everybody's scrapping for those positions. Yeah. Harder to get and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you thought you could make some money, gather yourself, and plan your next adventure.
Yes.
So, and you wanted to probably see your family at this point.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't been home for a while, so.
And you're good with your family?
Yeah.
Like you're real close and everything?
Yeah.
And they're based here?
Yeah. Okay. I see my parents pretty regularly. Mm-hmm. My sister not so often. And I don't know. I was adopted.
You were adopted?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting. A few
when
years ago.
When did you find out that you were adopted?
So when I was like so young, I don't even remember being told. So
you just knew you were adopted from day one.
Yeah, my
but
parents
that's the
told
way
me,
to do it.
Yeah, it was very, very early and natural and easy for me, and I had a pretty, objective understanding of it. Mm-hmm. Yet by the time I was, I don't know, I think I was 28. I had a girlfriend that had found her birth parents, and so she coached me through that, and then I
did you find yours?
So I found my birth mother and my birth father's side of the family, but he died when I was when he was like 21.
Okay.
So, but I got to meet a bunch of cool people in my extended family, and
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, and that kind of gave you the opportunity, I think, to be able to go do your adventuring because you wanted to find yourself. And when you kind of... So do your mother and father have... Your adopted mother and father have other children?
Well, they adopted my sister as well that I grew up with.
But she wasn't your blood sister. She was just another child that they adopted.
Yeah, we're both adopted.
Okay.
From different circumstances.
Sure. And how different in ages are you?
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year. So they did like an adoption and maybe another one right away?
I think it was 2 years later because my sister was about a year when they got her.
Okay. And you were a newborn baby?
I was a newborn. She was about a year
cool.
old. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's see. You came back here to gather yourself. get back with your mother and father who raised you and get a job.
Yeah, I needed to make a little more money than I had, man. I went from, part-time jobs and having as much fun as I can to like, gosh dang, I better make a little bit more money here. So I was a charter bus driver for like a year and a half. And honestly, that's not that much more money, but it told me that I could put in some serious miles.
Right.
And I thought, well, maybe I should try truck driving, like big trucks. And so I went to Wichita Area Technical College, like a 6-week course.
So you were how old then? 30?
I was, early 30s.
Okay.
And 6 weeks of trucking school, and I went with like a national company that does coast to coast long haul trucking.
Long haul trucker.
Yeah. Eastbound and down.
Yeah.
And I did that for like almost 3 years.
Okay.
And at some point, it was actually only about 9 months, and my girlfriend then came out trucking with me. We ran team for 2 years, and so we ran from like Kansas City to LA, and sometimes twice in a week.
Whoa.
The round trip twice in a week. So I put
That's
on some serious miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely probably doubled how much money I ever made before.
Yeah.
So that was nice, and then I got a local truck driving job. So I ended up making like the same amount of money, but it was only 40 hours a week instead of being gone for 2 weeks.
And you get to go home.
Yeah, and I still am doing that sort of. Without getting too in depth on my truck driving career.
Sure.
I now have I've been at the same company for like 12 years.
Okay.
And it's LTL style, so I do like pallet here, pallet there.
Okay.
Less than a load, not a whole truckload somewhere.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, deliveries in the first part of the day, and then as the trailer's emptying, you start doing pickups.
Yep. Okay. And I work in purchasing.
Okay.
And I do the nutrition foods for the school district.
Oh, okay.
So I do a lot of shipment, and
I've delivered right there to 37th and Hydraulic.
I don't work there, but that's what
Okay.
I do is I order to there constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, big trucks. We won't sell it unless it's a full truck.
So-
this kind of thing.
So you've probably ordered something that I delivered there.
Probably. That's so crazy, isn't it?
Small
world. So, okay, we've talked about our careers. So, and this kind of affords you the ability to go to the Billy Strings concerts, right?
Yes.
Do what you want to do, to start your production type of venue, to bring the music to the people.
That's very perceptive of you, because it comes up. I started to touch on, I only have so much knowledge about so much. So, whereas I feel like a lot of different promoters have a lot more knowledge than me. Well, part of that comes from, there were years when I didn't hardly go out as much because I was working, either didn't have the time or I didn't have the money. But then these last, I don't know, however, 12, 15 years, I've had kind of a good balance of both.
The time and the money.
Yeah.
And you have a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And, those trips, you were talking about those trips with your first girlfriend, or not first girlfriend, but girlfriend in the past, and you're going all the way to LA from Kansas City, you're listening to music.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about music.
That's also good. Satellite radio.
Came out during that time?
Yes.
So you were able to get bluegrass station and listen to bluegrass. And if you got tired of it, you could do something else, and you would learn about those things.
Yes. That's where I first heard Yonder Mountain String Band. Early Yonder was on satellite radio.
Yeah. And you're probably listening to the bluegrass channel when it came on. And you're like, who is this?
And Jam On.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Jam On?
No, I've never heard
That was great.
I'll have to check it out.
Apparently they still survive in a little bit of an internet. It's an extended offering that you get through the website of the satellite channel. It's not on the regular. I don't know. But
Jam On.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. It's cool nowadays that you can just kind of get into your thing that you're interested in and take these huge deep dives where you can learn everything about the thing. We're talking about career, and we're talking about being able to do kind of get the production and get the bug for bringing music and supporting local artists and artists that are around the area that you find captivating, that you think other people need to hear.
Yeah.
And trying to get them in and be a part of these festival type situations. So tell me about how this all started.
Well, wow. So, I mean, I guess it does go back to seeing so many festivals out there in Oregon. But then, you know, my Winfield story is kind of funny. I was actually still living in Oregon the first time I went to Winfield. I was home. And a friend, I'll just say her name, Jennifer Krumzik.
Oh, Jennifer, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You want to go down to Winfield?" And I was like, "Why would I want to go to Winfield?" I hadn't even heard it was a festival yet, you know.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of the town, and she's like, "There's this huge bluegrass party." I was like, "What? Yes, let's go." And I remember she introduced me to Scrope Belly.
Yeah.
And down into their camp and.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Those were great days.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's mainly what I remember from that first time. That and just a general sense of, wow, this is super cool, you know.
Yeah.
But
the elation of the whole thing and the fun factor.
And just what a community it was. And, But, you know, my attendance, so I went back to Oregon. And actually, we didn't touch on it. You know, I also did 6 months in Arizona. So I did back to Oregon, California, Arizona, and then
what'd you do in Arizona?
So I had this is so funny. I was obsessed on astronomy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I had a 8-inch diameter telescope, and I was just geeking out so hard. I was tired of it raining in Oregon. And
I would be too.
Oh,
that would make me tired.
It was rough. You know, the summers were great, but it rained from like October to June. You know?
Yeah.
And so I geeked out on astronomy for a few months, and I thought I would just maybe live there indefinitely. But once it really started to get hot out, I was like, no, and I just left. Because it wasn't just hot; it was like really dusty too. You know, I didn't think about that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in the middle of a desert.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of. I don't know. It's got its own drawbacks for sure.
Yeah. So I guess I had seen music in so many different areas that I just, you know, I love our local bands, but when I see somebody I like in another city or another festival, I really want to share it with other people, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if I have that ability, right? Which, you know, they've got to be able to play at a certain, you know, I can't just hire everybody I see.
Right.
But I try to get the ones that I think we can afford. I say we because I like to think of my efforts as like a collaboration between the people that like to come to my events and myself. And my girlfriend helps a lot. And,
right.
When we did a 2-day festival up there in Newton, Doug Days of Summer 2023, I mean, I had like 20, 30 people helping me, so that was great.
Was that the biggest one so far?
Yeah, well, it was 2 nights, and I had that was the most number of bands. But attendance wise, it was actually the year before that when we had Jacob Jolliffe and Fast Food Junkies, Foggy Memory Boys, Unfit Wives.
Oh wow!
Pretend Friend.
Yeah.
Rachel Amons, Jacob Jolliffe, Red Oak Ruse. I think that was everybody.
That's a good lineup.
It really was. Really fun. But so, yeah, my whole efforts started when I had my 50th birthday party, my whole production efforts.
Right.
I turned 50 and I was like, I want a couple bands or 3. And, so I got Pre-Existing Conniptions. Did you ever see them?
No.
That was...
that's a cool name, though.
Ronnie Lowry Wooster on cello leading that band.
Oh, cool.
She wrote the songs and played cello out front. And she had a couple pedals or 3 or 4 or whatever.
Really?
And
That's
distorted that
cool.
cello a little
Alright.
bit too. Yeah.
Sounds like I missed out.
It was really, really cool. And then Evan Ogborn played banjo
Okay.
in that. Yeah.
Well,
Usually.
Evan, he can
Of
play
course, he can play.
anything.
Yeah, he can play anything. Julian Urego was on drums. He does a lot of jazz guitar now at Walker's. He was gone, went to Texas.
I've actually seen him because my husband just loves Walker so much, and he's totally into a jazz thing.
Yeah, I've
right
sat
now.
with him there actually.
Yeah. And so, I've seen him play there one time, just when I got to go. So,
yeah.
that's cool.
I'm trying to think. But anyway, Pre-Existing Conniptions opened. Then it was Sunshine the Bunny.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Probably seen them more than anybody, even Pretend Friend in Wichita.
They're pretty kooky.
Yeah, just a lot of fun.
They're just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
18 or older.
Yeah. It's like a rated R show for
it's
sure.
a little bit.
And then Huffy and the Night Train.
Yeah.
And that was such a fun night. We had like 100 people, and it was did you ever hear Ellis Street Moto?
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay. It was, so basically like it was like a house venue, and you couldn't move inside, and there was, a ton of people outside, and we had a bonfire. And for days after that, weeks, months, I kept hearing, Doug, oh my God, that was so fun.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. I was like, okay. And then COVID hit. And so it was the following summer. So my 50th birthday was in February 2020.
Yeah.
By June or July is the next year is when I did the first Doug Days of Summer. So
okay.
I'm as I've done these, I've continued to go to other festivals in other states.
And,
And even running up to Kansas City and Lawrence, and gives me a chance to see some bands that don't necessarily come here, but I've booked bands that come through here too,
right?
And try to get them in front of a few more people. Swallowtail's great example. I'm wearing
cool shirt.
I saw them at Kirby's, and I had to get them in front of more people because
they were good.
They're just so good. They're ridiculous.
See, that's another thing I'm noticing is as I'm getting older, that the new up-and-comers are doing such cool things, Like, there are some really neat that I never heard of them, but they're putting out the good vibes and really strong lyrics and really neat chord changes and things like that, and using different kinds of catchy things as well to just kind of pull you in.
Absolutely.
I love it.
When they play as a duo, it's a acoustic guitar and a bassoon.
I love bassoon.
Yeah. And they sound amazing together.
Oh, I've got to check it out.
Yeah.
So that's Swallowtail?
Yeah, the Swallowtails.
The Swallowtails.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was the name of the band with the ladies that you were telling me about?
Big Richard?
No, the lady
Unfit Wives.
Unfit Wives?
Maybe.
No, the one with the lady cello player that was...
Pre-Existing Conniptions.
Okay.
They're not together anymore, but you can find their stuff, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have some recordings of that.
So now we're kind of to now, sort of, aren't we? So what do you got? What are you working on right now? Are you working on anything? Or
well, my next show is August 28th with Patty Steele and Half Grassed.
Okay.
Yeah. They're from southeastern Kansas. And it's mostly bluegrass, but they're sort of rock infused.
Yeah.
And fun show.
Yeah, isn't that kind of cool to see that rock infusion of
Absolutely.
bluegrass kind of come to a new generation?
Absolutely.
It really has been kind of an experience.
I've been learning more and more about that, some of the earlier players,
Yeah.
I mean, just think like Newgrass Revival and,
Yeah, I love Newgrass. I love Sam Bush, man.
Yes, me too.
Anytime. And at first, when I first saw Sam Bush, I thought, he's cheesy. And then he sucked me in, and I'm like such a fan.
Yeah.
Such a huge fan.
Me too.
Yeah. And I'll go anywhere for a Sambush concert usually. Like Rocky Grass was my favorite forever because he would be there.
Yeah.
And
That's where I
he
saw
would
him the first
pump
time.
it up,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
And then I saw him at Oklahoma's International,
In Guthrie.
and he killed it
Yeah.
there. I was like, he
Yeah.
killed it the most.
Still into, like, what is he, 72 now or something?
I haven't seen him in a while because, like I said, I've been kind of out of the loop for the little past whiles. But I'm getting back in, and it's time to get back in. So
Please.
yeah. So I can't wait to. So you're gonna have that's 2 bands that you named.
Yeah, that's August 28th. Patty Steele and Halfgrass
Where's that gonna be held?
at Rosie's.
Rosie's.
Yeah, that's my friends Stephanie and Toby.
A house party.
Yeah, it's a backyard venue.
Okay.
It's 2 backyards joined together. So it's pretty
Okay.
good size, lots of shade.
So it's like a Ted Farha backyard or
It
type
is
vibe.
pretty similar.
That's cool.
They've landscaped with gravel.
That's kind of nice.
It
Keeps the bugs down.
It does keep the bugs down. They've also got a lot of little landscaping touches back there, and they've built a covered stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always hire, professional sound. Usually Brody Wellman if I can get him.
Yeah. Come on, Brody. He's
Yeah.
really good.
Yes, he is.
He's got the ear for sure.
Yeah.
And he plays great bass too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, so I've also been promoting bands into other venues a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I've developed a rapport with Barleycorns and Shamrock and Artichoke
Yeah.
and Central Standard Brewing. All these guys that will book, more rootsy, folksy, bluegrass bands.
Right.
And where people actually listen to the music.
And we'll attend.
Yes.
Because that's
yes.
the whole deal that Wichita needs to get out there and support
Yes.
the bands.
I think
And
so,
this
too.
is, you really have to suck it up and get out there and support these bands because they're putting it all in for you. And it really is something to improve your life. Like, this is somewhere you can find joy where everything else is shit sometimes,
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And is there like cover for that admission?
The Patty Steele and Halfgrass. We do donations at Rosie's. It's $20 suggested usually.
Okay. And they'll have merch and stuff like that you can buy as well, probably.
Yeah, we encourage the bands to bring merch. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm.
We normally have a food truck out
Yeah.
front.
Make it a whole fun thing.
Yeah.
Make a night of it.
Well, yeah, and if we start the music at 7, so I figure that gives people a chance, like, if they're trying to get stuff during the day or coming from work or something, they don't have to rush out and go have dinner somewhere else. They can just have dinner there, and makes it a little easier.
Yeah, at least you're not running around crazy.
Yeah.
Or get there late and miss something cool.
Yeah. Oh, and I definitely encourage people that see both bands.
Yeah. Definitely. Always. And usually that's where you find the thing that you've been missing, if you know what I mean. Like when I go to opening bands and I'm like, wow, I never heard of this band or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and they're like really a talented person and they inspire you to look them up and take a deep dive.
Absolutely.
So that's so cool, Doug, that you do this to help other people and to help people just to enjoy the talent that we have here and around here that deserves to be, just brought to the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool that we have that community here, that,
It is cool.
yeah.
And there are a lot of people out there working really hard and talented and brilliant and they want to be seen and they want to say something, and that's really cool. And it takes a lot of guts.
It does.
And so you got to give them a little bit of applause just for the amount of guts it takes to do this and hard work. And like I try to write a song and I can't even get through it because it's just so difficult. It's just so difficult.
A lot of them make it look easy, huh? Like we don't even think about what goes into it.
Yeah, there's a lot, because you've got to think about the people are going to critique you, and that's hard to take sometimes. So is there anything I missed about your life that you wanted to put out there in the interwebs?
I don't know. I hope we can grow Daze Productions a little bit. You know, I'm not in such a rush. Like, I kind of had a vision of I like the, you know, multi-band festivals that draw, you know, a few thousand people, and it'd be great to get there. But like, I'm learning more and more about exactly what that takes, you know, and I'm really kind of appreciating the simplicity of what I have, but still kind of naggingly, I'd love to I'm always trying to get more people out, you know?
Yeah.
And it's been cool to watch, my connections grow a little bit. Like, I hear, you know, I hit up a band from Colorado and they didn't know me. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, who do we know in Kansas? And so they'd call, you know, somebody, and they're in Kansas City, and they're like, who is this Doug guy? And that person in Kansas City is like, do it. He's so good. It's a fun awesome place. Yeah. And when I hear stuff like that, it you know, feels good, and it helps me realize that I'm kind of on the right track with that, you know. For sure. Because it helps, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And doing the right thing by people.
Yeah.
And getting known for being a good, upstanding guy.
Person to work with, yes.
Yeah.
The bands get paid, and, you know, they get paid well usually.
Yeah. And they're not being jerked around or somehow not coming through with what you've told them. You know?
But you know what else is also, they like the size of the crowds, you know. A lot of times when bands book multi-city runs, multi-state runs, they can play to empty bars, you know, especially on weekdays.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what. Like two people, and I've been to Kirby's where somebody's playing it, and they're great. It's me and the bartender and another guy.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh my God, where is everybody?
Like, oh my gosh, we're missing a really cool thing.
So they appreciate that too, and because, you know, we've been getting like 150 people to Rosie's, and they really appreciate that.
So is that the main place you're kind of booking for, is Rosie's now? And so...
Yeah, because I don't have a venue. I mean,
right.
I don't own one, you know.
Right. You can, if something comes up, you can figure something out, but otherwise, you've got Rosie's working with you.
Yep, that's my main one.
That's awesome.
I was recently... a friend through the scene has offered to maybe do some stuff in their property, a rural property somewhere down between. I haven't been there yet, but I told her we'd go check it out and possibly collaborate. She said it's roughly between Derby and Mulvane. Okay. It wouldn't be too far, because, you know, when I do multiple bands, more than 2 or 3, we need to be able to go later. I'm limited to like 10 p.m. at Rosie's. But I'd like to be able to go to midnight or 1, you know.
For the younger crowd.
Yeah, you know.
I'm good with 10, tell you the truth.
I hear you. Well, it's so funny. I've kind of learned that much of my crowd is fine with that. But
but I just got to go to sleep.
I hear you.
No, I can hang, but not every day. The weekend, maybe. So on the Catch a Pocket podcast, Doug, I always ask everyone who comes a story of inspiration. And so I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you have a story of inspiration to share with the audience and me?
Man, I should have caught that when I listened to the other episodes. It's so funny. I had told you I'd listened to Wayne Gottstein's Pocket podcast that you did, and it's hard to top that story that he told, that about the, let's see, was it Bruce Springsteen concert, and he pulled up the 10-year-old, and she's saying "Blinded by the Light," and the whole crowd whispered, blinded by.
So cool.
Yeah, I was almost getting chills just listening to that story. But in general, and I'm sorry to steal your story, Wayne, but it just reminds me, like, I'm almost getting chills just now, remembering how many times I've gotten chills in concerts.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when you ask me for like one, I don't know if I can come up with it at this moment, but I'm constantly brought to either chills or just kind of super emotion, when I see live music.
Yeah.
I really, really live a lot of it, and listen to it really, really actively, maybe more so than I ever have now that I'm, constantly on the lookout for people that I might be able to work with, but yet I'm still just having fun. Like, I'm nowhere near like not enjoying it because I'm looking for the next band or whatever. I'm still mostly just a guy out, having as much fun as I possibly can. But those times where I'm just really, really peaked, where my interest is peaked, are still constantly happening. And so it's really hard for me to narrow it down to one, at least with regard to, music production. We're coming up on Hillberry. It is my favorite festival all year, every year. And since 2021, when I went to my first one. So
what makes it your favorite?
I would say the talent, they tend to book more progressive bluegrass bands, and on the jam side, there's some variety. There's a little bit of traditional bluegrass, but then there's a lot of more progressive jam grass. And then they throw in, like people like Corey Wong and, O'Teal and Friends, and, bluegrass adjacent, roots adjacent. It's just a little more variety. And I feel like, I think the main thing, or without naming it, our other big festival around here, what that has going for it is its community and, the campground scene. And the Hillberry is completely different, but I love it so much that I'm already like excited, and it's not till October. Right? Okay. And so when I bring up inspiration and stuff that's inspired me, I mean, I've gotten a ton of bands out of there. Yeah. And I just that's really cool. Look forward to it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So thank you for catching a pocket with me today. And I really appreciate you, Doug. Thanks. And I appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And it's very cool what you're doing here. And I'm going to have to check out more of the podcasts.
Yeah, do so. And
tell people about it. Yeah.
Yeah, keep on plugging away. And anybody who wants to come tell their story, they're more than welcome. And I'm here to listen.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And thank you, Doug, for coming down, sharing your story with me and all the people listening. And if you get a chance, drop me an email if you'd like to be interviewed. I'd love to get more people to share their story with me. You could be any kind of art, any kind of job. If you're a person that lives around Wichita and want to share your story with me, I'm willing to tape it. So please drop me a line at catchapocket@gmail.com. And I hope you guys catch a pocket you can be proud of. Support your local bars and bands. Have a great evening.